Shalom, Shalom Israel. We here again. We're here again to do what the God of Israel Haya need me to do. I would like to say Shalom to the remnant, to the Hebrew kingdom and the Hebrew nation. I give the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob all the glory and all the honor today. I truly give him the praise, him and the great, great Holy Spirit, the mother of Zion, the beautiful queen of Jerusalem. I give him the glory and honor this morning. I'm here again to do what the God of Israel want me to do. In spite of what I have to do and what I'm going through, I still have to obey the God of Israel because he's truly my God. He's truly my God. And he have chose me to do a work in his earth and in this hour. So this is law class number 11. Yay, we are getting there. We are getting there, Israel. So before we start our law class this morning, like I like to do sometimes, or mostly all the times that I come here, I would like to go into a little bit of song. But today I'm gonna sing. I would like to sing a song today to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the God of Israel. I would like to sing. Again, my name, if I haven't told you my name is Queen Prophet Elishaba. I am the prophet of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm the prophet of the Hebrew kingdom and nation. I'm his prophet. Okay, I'm his prophet. So today I'm going to sing a song to the gods of Jerusalem, the mother and the father. I'm going to sing a song to them because, they've been so great in my life. They've been so good in my life. They just so wonderful. It's wonderful what they have showed me in my life. It's wonderful how my life has transformed into a lot of different ways. So I'm grateful. I'm very grateful this morning. I have a lot of gratitude towards the Hebrew gods. I thank them very much. So the song that I'm going to sing to the gods of Israel. How would my life ever be? How would my life ever be? How would my life ever be without the gods of Israel? How would my life ever be? How would my life ever be? How would my life ever be without the gods of Israel? You have changed my world. You have changed my world. You have changed my world. You are the great God. How would my life ever be? How would my life ever be? How would my life ever be? You are the gods of Israel. You are great, Ahia. You are great, Ahia. You are great, Ahia. There is no other God. You are great, Ahia. How would my life be without the gods of Israel? I'm here this morning, people. I am here this morning. On this Monday morning, I am here. Okay? Let me get a little bit situated here, and we're gonna go right into our law class today. We're gonna go right into our law class today. Okay? I thank the God He is for this day, for this hour, and at this time. Okay. We are studying today for our law class. This is law class number 11. We are studying today about civil. We are in the civil part of the law. Civil. Okay? So let me do this. Give me one moment. The God of Israel is great. What would my life be without Him and the mother of Jerusalem? Absolutely nowhere. Okay? Absolutely nowhere. I believe we are on law number 1. We're going to pick it up at law number 122. This is the civil part of the law that we are studying today, the civil. We don't went through the moral part of the law. We don't went through the ceremonial part of the law, which include the holy days and the ceremonies and the rituals that the priests had to do for the God of Israel, the Leviticus priesthood, his rituals, whatever he wanted. So we've been through all those parts of the law. Now we are in the section part of the law, which is the civil law of the 613 laws. But before we do that, before we do that, before we do that, sorry, Jeremiah. I'm going to read the book of Jeremiah. It's not Jeremiah, Jeremiah, Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 3. I'm going to read that today. I'm going to read Jeremiah chapter 3 before we start our low class Israel. And it reads like this, Jeremiah chapter 3. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's wife, shall he return unto her again? Up under the law, no. If a man put away his wife, and we actually going into that part of the law today, that's talking about marriage, it's talking about divorce, justice in marriage and divorce, the civil part of the law of the children of Israel, the God of Israel laws. So up under the law, if a man divorce his wife, he cannot marry her again. That's up under the law. Once you divorce someone, that's it. You cannot go back and remarry them again. That's against the God of Israel law. Okay? That's against the God of Israel law. That's against. So you cannot do that. So I'm reading Jeremiah chapter 3. The prophet of the God of Israel was Jeremiah. Of course, that's not his name in the Hebrew. That's his name right here in the Christian King James Version Bible. That's not his name in the Hebrew. He got a totally different name in the Hebrew. It's a totally different sounding. So right here, the God of Israel is talking to Jeremiah, his prophet. And he's telling Jeremiah, Jeremiah, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? But thou should, wait a minute, should he return unto her again, shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Yet return again unto me, said Ahiah. So the God of Israel's name is Ahiah. He's the God of the Hebrew kingdom. He's the God of the Hebrew nation. And he's the God of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? That God. That's the God that I'm talking about. That's the God that I'm teaching you about. That's the God that I'm trying Israel to give you some understanding about. Because without that God, let me say it again, please, loud and clear this morning. Without that God in your life is absolutely nothing but hell again on earth. And I'm a witness to that. So, right here, he's saying, Jeremiah, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man, yes, you can remarry again up under the law, but you cannot remarry the same woman or the same man up under the law. Yes, if a man give his wife a divorce, a bill of divorce in her hand, yes, she can go away from his house and become another man's wife. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's exactly what Israel did to the God of Israel. He gave the children of Israel a bill of divorce. He divorced them because the God of Israel is our husband. He is our husband. We are married to him. The Hebrew kingdom, the 12 tribes of Israel, is his inheritance, is his bride, is his wife. That's exactly what he called her, his wife. So yes, he gave her a bill of divorce. He divorced her and sent her into slavery throughout all, he scattered her all over the earth. He scattered all that he didn't kill in Jerusalem, all that the Chaldeans didn't take down, and the Greeks and the Romans and all them other Gentile nations that came up against the children of Israel for their wickedness against their own God and their rebellion. He gave them a bill of divorce and told them, get up out of Jerusalem. Get up out of here. Y'all filthy. Y'all polluted. Y'all nasty. Y'all evil and wicked people. Get up out of my country. Get up out of my city. Get up off of my mountain. So he telling Jeremiah right here, the land will be greatly polluted. And that's exactly what the children of Israel did in Jerusalem. That's exactly what the children of Israel, my ancestors, our ancestors, did in the wilderness. They polluted. They polluted. They polluted Jerusalem. They polluted the wilderness. Adam and Eve, they polluted the garden. Yes, Adam and Eve, our Hebrew parents, mother and father, they polluted the garden. So the God of Israel kicked them out of the garden, kicked them out, just like he kicked out the children of Israel out of Jerusalem. It's the same exact thing. When you don't do what the God of Israel want you to do, He's gonna destroy you. Let me say it loud and clear. He is going to destroy you. And that's exactly what's happening right now today. As I speak, all over the earth, the children of Israel is being destroyed and is destroyed. The children of Israel is destroyed because the God of Israel gave them a bill of divorce. They hurt the God of Israel, Ahia. They hurt him and the mother of Zion, the great Holy Spirit. They hurt him. My ancestors hurt them, went against them, and polluted Jerusalem. He said they have played the harlot. That's exactly what you're doing now, and that's what your ancestors did then. Playing the harlot. You ain't nothing but a hoe, Israel. That's all you are. You are a whore. You are greatly polluted. You greatly polluted. And I don't care if you don't want to hear it. I don't care if you don't want to understand it. You are a hoe. You are a great hoe. You've been a hoe all your life. Ever since the God of Israel called you up out of Egypt, you've been a hoe. All the way back then, Noah day, when the flood came, Adam and Eve, children, wasn't nothing but whores. Whores and whoremongers. You've been playing the harlot for a very long time. For centuries and generations. You've been playing a hoe. You've been a hoe so very long. You filthy. You filthy. You polluted. Like it say right here in Jeremiah 3, you are polluted. You polluted. Absolutely polluted. How am I polluted? How am I polluted? That's why I hear somebody saying, well, how am I polluted? You know how you pollute? Because you break all the God of Israel laws. You go against what the God of Israel tell you to do or what you understand to do. You don't, yes. You got all kind of idols in your life, all kind of idolatry in your life. You love so many other things other than the God of Israel. You love so many other things other than Ahaya. You love everything. Yes, I'm gonna make it loud and clear today. You love everything other than the God of Israel. Everything. You love your church service. The God of Israel ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You love everything but the God of Israel. And that is the problem. And that's why he's saying right here in Jeremiah 3 that you are polluted. Jeremiah 3. But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Many lovers, see. Many love. You don't just have one lover, Israel. You have many lovers. And all your lovers are Gentiles. All your lovers and all your stuff that you love and all the stuff that you want and all the stuff that you desire and all the stuff that you believe you have to have, it all comes from the Gentiles. None of it have anything to do with the gods of Jerusalem. None of it have anything to do with the Hebrew kingdom and nation. It's all about Gentile. You want to look like a Gentile. You want to talk like a Gentile. You want to walk like a Gentile. You want to eat what a Gentile eat. You want to work for Gentiles. You want to buy Gentile cars, houses. Everything is Gentile. You have many, many lovers. Yes. So right here in Jeremiah chapter 3, before we go into our law class, you have many lovers, yet return again to me, said Ahiah. Yet return again, say unto me, Ahiah. Return, Israel. See, that's your problem. You don't know how to return to the God of Israel or the gods of Jerusalem. You don't know how to return. You don't know how. You don't know how to give up your ways. You don't know how to give up the things that you love and want and desire every day. You got to turn from your ways. Turn from your ways. Give up your ways. It's a lot of things I had to give up. It's a lot of things that I had to give up to serve the God of Israel, to be right here where I am today. It's a lot of things that I had to give up. Lots. I had to turn to the God of Israel so he can marry me, so I could be his daughter, so I could be his prophet, so I could be his servant, so I could be whatever the God of Israel need, his queen, whatever he need me to be in his earth. Because we all was born to be something for the God of Israel in his earth. I know my purpose. I know my will. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I just wanted to bring that passage out in Jeremiah chapter 3, how unfaithful you are right now. And that's why everything in your life is going on the way that it's going on. That's why everything in your life is going on the way that is going on. No, you're not going to fix your life. Should I say it again, Ahaya? No, you're not going to fix your life. Why? Because Ahaya not going to let you fix it. He's not going to let you fix it. I don't care how much you work at it, work on it, work around it, work with it. It's not going to happen. Because Ahaya didn't put you in this earth to do what you are doing right now. See, that's the problem. Ahaya didn't put you here to work for no man and work for no woman and you know, do that. Ahaya didn't put you in the earth for none of the things that you are doing right now. And that's why your life will not be fixed. It will not. So what I am doing, I'm doing what the God of Israel, my father, Ahaya, want me to do, and the mother of Jerusalem. Because right now I know that it's about to be some catastrophes in the earth. Just like COVID-19 was a catastrophe, oh, it's going to be worse than COVID. It's going to be worse than COVID this time. But see, the God of Israel is going to take his enemies down this time, his enemies out this time. Yeah, yes, this is the 7th month. It's the 7th month, the year of release in the 7th month, according to the Hebrew calendar. Okay. So let me look up something right here. So the God of Israel is showing Jeremiah why Israel is being destroyed in Jerusalem. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was in Jerusalem at that time when Jeremiah was prophesying. So he's showing Jeremiah that they are whores. They have always left and left. They always forgot about me. And see how you're gonna forget about you and your children. Yeah, see, that's the final conclusion of the whole matter. See, after the God of Israel give you so much time, ooh, he's a merciful God when he wanna be. After he give you so much time to make up your mind and you know you try to figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it and how, oh, I want to fit the God of Israel into my schedule. How do I want to fit the God of Israel into my life? How do I want to fit him in? See, the God of Israel give you all that time to try to figure all that stuff out on your own. And when you all you have to do is submit and repent and turn from your wicked ways. That's all you ever have to do. You know, you just trying to fit him in and go, oh, when I get ready, when I'm ready. No, it don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It just don't work that way. So you are at the end now, Hebrews. And this is why I am here. And I know that's why I'm the end, meaning that it's going to be a lot of catastrophes and destruction in the earth. That's why the God of Israel have you here reading the laws. Because again, he want to give you a chance. He want to give everybody that's written in the book of life. The God of Israel want to give you a chance. And if you don't want it, again, he will blot your name out the book of life. It's that simple. Okay? So we're going to pull up right here. Okay, silver. Silver. Go ahead and starve to death, Hebrews. Go ahead and starve to death. Go ahead and, let the New World Order take you down. Go ahead. Go right ahead and let the beast, Satan, have your soul because he already got it anyway. Go ahead. He already have it anyway. Go right ahead. That's what I can hear the God of Israel saying that. Go right ahead, Hebrews. Go ahead. You think you got it figured out? Oh, God is going to help me. Oh, God is going to save me. Oh, God is going to help me. He's going to save me from the new. Oh, yes. God is going to do this. He's going to make no, nothing. Absolutely nothing for you wicked, hard-hearted, stiff-necked, rebellious, wicked, demonic people. Nothing for you. Now, let's move on further into our law class. We're going to read Deuteronomy 6. Deuteronomy 6. Yeah, Deuteronomy 6. Give me about 1 minute. 1 minute and I'll be back. I'm coming back in a minute. So Deuteronomy 6. It says, now these are the commandments. This is what we read. Every law class that we have, I always read Deuteronomy 6 because that's what I was told to. Okay? Remember God every day. That's the title of this passage. Remember God Ahaya every day. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which Ahaya your God commanded to teach you that that you might do them in the land whether you go to possess it, that thou mightest fear Ahaya thy God to keep his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thy and thy sons and thy sons' sons, all the days of thy life, that thy days that thy life may be prolonged. Verse 3 of Deuteronomy 6. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that that it may go well with thee, and that thou mightest increase mightily, as the higher has promised thy fathers, the fathers of the children of Israel, have promised in the land that flow with milk and honey. Verse 4 of Deuteronomy 6. Hear, O Israel, higher our God is one God, and thou shalt love Ahia thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. So that's just Moses telling the children of Israel what Ahia wants them to do every day of their life. Okay? So right now what we're going to do, we're going to read the meaning of the word civil, because we are on law class number 11 today, and this is the civil part of the law that we are studying today, the civil part of the law. You have moral. The moral part of the law is got a lot to do with idolatry and not having no other gods and not having statues, and we did the moral, we did the ceremonial. Now we on the civil part of the law. Civil, the meaning of the word civil, so you'll understand what civil means. Civil, okay? The God of Israel have laws just like anybody else have laws. Don't this world have laws? Don't your government have laws? So why you think the God of Israel don't have a law? If this world have laws that you have to follow and keep and all of that, the God of Israel also have laws. So civil, relating to ordinary citizens and their concerns, as distinctive from, okay, relating to citizens and their concerns. That's what civil laws is all about in the Torah, in the Mitzvah, in the covenant. It's all about the children of Israel treating each other the right way and doing what's right by one another. See, that's so important to the God of Israel, Ahia, is that we do what is right by each other. You have to do what's right, Israel. That's important. That's important. Treating a person the way that they treat you. If they disrespect you, well, you don't need to be around them people. No, you don't need to disrespect them back. Vengeance is the God of Israel. He will repay. If somebody disrespect you, you don't need to disrespect them back. You can correct them. Yes, correct them. If somebody come up to me trying to disrespect me and size me up, all of that, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to stand my ground as a Hebrew woman. As a Hebrew woman, I'm going to stand my ground. Okay? You're not going to disrespect me and say anything to me and try to treat me in any kind of way. I don't care who it is. It could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be whoever. Boy, girl, doesn't matter. So you can correct them up under the civil law. You can correct. You can correct, but it was up to the God of Israel. He told Moses and the priest and the prophet and them what they had to do concerning these people that was breaking the civil law. Don't let nobody, it doesn't matter who they is, because we are Hebrews. I'm a Hebrew woman and I'm powerful. I'm powerful. I know I'm powerful. The gods of Israel is with me. So what do I need to be afraid of? Who do I need to be afraid of? Who can stop me? Absolutely nobody. Absolutely nobody, okay? So no, you're not going to intimidate me in no kind of way. I don't care if you're a 6 feet tall man. See, because I have a force in front of me and behind me. I'm in the middle. And that force is the Hebrew gods and his heavenly hosts. So yeah, what I am saying to you, give me one moment. Civil laws. We're in the civil part of the law of the 613 laws of the God of Israel, the covenant. In the civil laws. One moment. So that's exactly where we are right now. In the civil part of the law. And it says here, for the meaning for civil, the word civil. Relating to ordinary citizens and their concerns. It says, that's the first meaning of the word civil. The second meaning of the word civil is courteous and polite. Courteous and polite. Should I pull up the word courteous? Let's pull up the word courteous and polite to give you some understanding of how you're supposed to be as a Hebrew man and a Hebrew woman towards one another, towards one another, towards your God, towards your God, towards one another, the Gentile strangers, yes. Yes, you got to treat the Gentiles the right way too, because that's up under the law. The God of Israel just say, because you were strangers in Egypt. So because we were strangers in Egypt, we have to treat Gentiles a certain way. We cannot just cast them out and cast them away just because they're not Hebrews. We have to treat them the right way. That's up under the law of the God of Israel. So the word civil have everything to do with being courteous and being polite to each other. And see, this should help you to understand, Israel, that you're not keeping the law. You're not, I don't care how much you go to your Hebrew Israelite services and listen to them on, excuse me, listen to them on YouTube, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It speaks for itself. Your behavior speaks for itself. The way that you are speaks for itself. Your life tell exactly how you think, how you feel, what you know, what you understand, the way that you are. Me as the prophet of the God of Israel, I can look at a person. I can look at the way a person act. I can look at the way a person do things. I can look at the way a person say things. And I know what kind of mindset they have. I know what kind of mindset they have. I know what kind of knowledge and wisdom and understanding that they're working with. So it's very important to be courteous, nice, gentle, understanding, polite, kind, honest, cheerful, happy, pleasant with each other. It's very, very important to the God of Israel, because that's what the civil law is all about. Keeping order, excuse me, keeping order among the children of Israel. When they was in the wilderness, the God of Israel told Moses about the civil law, how to keep order among the children of Israel. And if they broke the law, the God of Israel would kill them. And he killing you right now. Some of y'all dying physical deaths. Yeah, let me say that. Some of y'all are dying physical deaths. And you don't even know why you dying. You 20 years old, you drop dead. You 10 years old, drop dead. 7, it don't matter to the God of Israel. He no respect the person. It don't matter how old you is. Because children had to keep the law also. Let me say that again. Children had to keep the law also. Hebrew little boys and Hebrew little girls, they had to keep the law. And if they went against the law, the God of Israel would tell the children of Israel, stone them to death, kill them, because they little rebellious, wicked little children. So you got some wicked little kids too. Okay? So I'm here to show you right now today. This is law class number 11. We're talking about the civil law today. The God is to say the word for civil is courteous and polite, and how we supposed to treat each other as citizens, as Hebrew men and women. Okay, let's look up the word polite, and then we're going to go into our law class. Polite, having or showing behavior that is respectful and considerate of other people. Woo, let me read that again. Y'all wonder why y'all life is the way it is? You breaking the whole entire law. The moral law you breaking. The ceremonial laws you breaking. The civil laws you breaking. And the dietary laws you are breaking. That's why you are the way you are. Messed up, in and out. And oh my God, everybody in my family is destroyed. Let me say that everybody in my family, from my mama, from my brothers, from my sister, from my cousins, from my auntie, from everybody, they are a destroyed people. Very destroyed. And do they know how to be polite to each other? Absolutely not. Ooh, nobody in my family know. They don't even know how to spell the word polite. They don't even know what that means. They so wicked and evil. Yes, wicked and evil. Wicked and evil. I don't want to be around no wicked and evil people. Get away from me, please. Please, I got a life to live. I got a God to serve. I don't have time for that no more. Please get away from me. My mom and them keep come and visit you for what? There's no civil behavior among y'all. Y'all act like animals and dogs. Arguing and fighting and fussing and bigging and all, calling each other names and all. No, I don't live that kind of life anymore. I don't want to have nothing to do with that kind of life anymore. It's nasty. It's nasty and it's wicked. I hate it. I did all that stuff. I don't have to do that no more. So right here say, for polite, and I'm just reading a definition of the word civil before we go into our civil laws today. Showing behavior that is respectful and considerate of other people. You have to have consideration for other people. It's not all about you, what I want. Oh, yeah, you. It's not all about you. It's not all about you. You have to have consideration and respect for other people. If you're going to be a woman and a man that say they love the God of Israel or say that they love God, how can you love God when you don't even consider no one but your own self? You are a nasty person, man. So it says right here, you have to be respectful. What is respect? When somebody wants something or somebody needs something, it could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be your friend, it could be your family, it could be whoever. Hey, excuse me, cut it out, leave it alone. What you tearing up? My chihuahua. Hold on, people. You love tearing up tissue. Get out of here, come on. So let's go into the law number, our law class. You get what I'm saying? It's about being concerned for others and being respectful and considerate. It also means well-mannered. Well-mannered, knowing how to treat people. Stop being so selfish. Stop thinking about yourself, what you want. That's not civil. You're not a civil person. You're not. I'm just telling you the truth, people. It's a person that's well-mannered, that know how to treat other people, regardless to the way they feel, regardless to the way they think, regardless to what they want. You got to be civil. You got to have well manners. Having or showing good manners, polite. Polite. Not being angry and frustrated and mad, and every time somebody try to say something to you and tell you things you don't want to hear. That's not polite. You're not a civil person. You acting like an animal. Let me say it again, Hebrews. You acting like an animal. That's what you act like, an animal. So it's saying well-mannered, well-behaved, courteous. Courteous is considerate. Y'all won't consider the God of Israel. You will not consider the God of Israel a higher. You won't consider. Now you hungry, no food stamps, no this, no that. Jamaica got water everywhere. They dying over there in Jamaica. Yes. Oh, send somebody to help us. Oh, since the waters rise. Yes. For your wickedness and your evil is real. No, the God of Israel ain't sending nobody to Jamaica, Benjamin. That's what you want, Benjamin. You want to serve your idols and your gods and call on your false God. Where Jesus at? Can't Jesus make the water go down? Where your gods at? Over there in Jamaica. When people die, flood, the water everywhere. Where's your Jesus? Where's your Guadalupe? Where is your gods? Can't they help you, Israel? No, they can't help you because they're not real. Now, let's go to the law class now. Calling on Trump. Trump ain't got nothing to do with this. Trump don't have anything to do with what's going on right now. Nothing. It's the God of Israel. Ahaya is my name. Trump. Who is Trump? What is Trump? Nothing but a mere man. I am Ahaya, the God of Israel. Oh, Trump taking off food. Trump doing this. Trump closing down the IRS. Yeah, you won't have no more IRS checks in January to buy you a new car and a new house and some Jordans and a PlayStation 5 and a big TV screen. Yeah, you won't have no more IRS income tax checks. And again, it's not Trump. It's the God of Israel. He dealing with you, Israel, Hebrews, Gentiles, all of you people, for your wickedness and your evil and your rebellion. You are a whore. You have plagued the harlot with many lovers. Go tell your lovers to give you some food. Go tell your lovers to give you and your children some food. Go tell them. Go tell your lovers to get on an airplane and fly to Jamaica and get all them people up out of that water and tell your lovers to do that for you, Hebrews. Because I won't be doing it for you. Let's go. Law number. Let's go to our law class. Go to our law class. Yeah. Let's go to our law class. Thank you, God, Israel. Law number 120. No, we are law number 122. I'm just going to read over that, but that's not the law that I'm going to focus on, but I'm going to read over that one. Law number 122 of the 613 laws. A man should contractually marry a woman before living with her. A man should contractually marry a woman before living with her. Deuteronomy 24:1. I told you cannot shack up with no woman. That's why them relationships will never work. That's why your relationships with men would not work, because you're going against the God of Israel law. The way that you're supposed to have a man or a woman in your life, in your home, in your presence, it is a way. It's civil. It's civil. It's the right thing to do concerning a man or a woman that you say you love, that you say you want to be with, that you say you want to live with them. Well, you have to marry that woman. You have to marry that woman. You cannot live with her if she's not your wife. It's that simple. It's that simple. Keep the law, Hebrews. Keep the law. That's Deuteronomy 24:1. Let's get that law in the Bible. Deuteronomy 24:1. Excuse me. It says, when a man have taken a wife and marry her, and it comes to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he have found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. And we're going to get a precept for this. It is so many divorces and bad marriages in this world today. If a man, a Hebrew man, have taken a wife and he have married this woman, and he don't want her anymore. He don't find no favor in her. The Bible say, write a bill of divorce, put it in her hand, and send her out your house. Please, please, please don't try to hold on to a woman that you don't want. Let her go. Please don't try to hold on to a woman that you don't desire anymore. Please let that woman go. Write that bill of divorce and put it in her hand. Let her go. Don't make her life no more miserable than what it is. Let her go. You don't want her. You ain't got no favor in your eyes for her. You don't have no desire for her. Then let her go. This is the best thing to do. I don't want to be with a man that don't want me. No, I've been there, did that, done all of that. I don't want that. I don't need that in my life no more. I'd rather be alone by myself. I'd rather be by myself, people. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I've been in so many unpleasant relationships with men. So many unpleasant relationships with men. They ain't got time for you. They don't desire you. They don't want you. They all into themselves. See, I'm familiar with those kind of men. They all into their self and what they want. No, them kind of men, they are selfish and stubborn men. It's all about what they like, what they want, what they don't. No, I'm not dealing with that no more. I already told the God is I don't want to deal with it no more. No, I need peace, release, as they say in Spanish. I need to be happy in my life. And anybody bringing complications to your life, then walk away from that. Walk away from that. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need that. So the God of Israel saying, just put a bill of divorce in her hand and let her go free. Let her go free. Let her go free. No, I don't have to go to court and all of that and, get a divorce. No, I don't have to do none of that. All he got to do is what the God of Israel say. Put it in my hand and let me go. And I'll become another man's wife. It ain't got nothing to do with the government. Marrying don't have anything to do with the government when it comes to Hebrew men and women. We don't need the government to marry us. The God of Israel is the one that marries us, not no government. So let me get a precept for Deuteronomy 24:1, law number 122. The God of Israel is serious about this. He's serious about all his laws. Civil, how to treat your wife, how to treat your husband. It say, let's do a precept. It's taking me to Deuteronomy 21:15 for a precept for law number 122. Deuteronomy 24:1. Precept Deuteronomy 21:15. If a man have two wives, two. So it's not against the God of Israel for a man to have two wives. Yes, you can have two wives. Our father Jacob, he had 4 wives. He had 4 wives. Our father Abraham, he had 2 wives. Okay, so yes, if a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated, excuse me, if he loved one of his wives and he hate the other one, and they born him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, Deuteronomy 21:15. Okay. Verse 16. Then it should be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he have, that which he have, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength, the right of the firstborn of his. So if a man have 2 wives, a Hebrew man, he have 2 wives. A Hebrew man is a man or a woman that's from the 12 tribes of Israel. That's a Hebrew man. You can't be a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman just because you join a church. You have to be from the 12 tribes of Israel in order to be a Hebrew man and a Hebrew woman. So if a Hebrew man have 2 wives, this is the civil part of our law. This is the way you handle that. When you get in a situation and you have 2 wives, one beloved, one wife you love her, and the other wife you hate her. You got 2 wives, you love one and you hate the other wife. Okay? And they have born and they both have children for you, Hebrew brother. They both have children for you. Both the one you love and the one you hate. And the firstborn is by the woman that you hate. Your firstborn son or daughter is by the one that you hate. So the God of Israel said it doesn't matter if you hate her or not. It doesn't matter if you hate. First of all, you should have been gave her a bill of divorce and sent her out your house because you don't have no favor in your eyes for her. She shouldn't even be your wife. She should not even be your wife. Okay? So you hate her. You hate one of the wives that you have. Deuteronomy 21:15. But she have a baby by you, and you hate her, and that's your firstborn son. Just because you hate his mother that had him, your firstborn son, the inheritance still goes to the firstborn son. Even though you have 2 wives, you love one wife and you hate the other wife. But the one that was hated, you have a son by her. The God of Israel said up under the civil law, you still must give the firstborn hated son. You hate the mama, so you hate the son too. You still must give him his inheritance. It do not go to the son of the beloved wife. You cannot give his inheritance to the wife that you love. You got to give it to the firstborn, even though you hate his mama. That's how that goes. That's the civil law concerning marriage. Concerning marriage. And this one took me from law number 122, Deuteronomy 24:1. When you Don't find no favor in the eyes of your wife. Don't have no more favor in your eyes. The Bible say right here in Deuteronomy 24:1, law number 122, give her a bill of divorce and send her out of your house. This is exactly what you need to do. Don't try to work it out. Don't try to, because it's not going to work. And right here, we went to the precept of Deuteronomy 21:15 for law number 122. And it said, if a man have two wives, so yes, Hebrew man, you can have two wives. If a man have two wives, how he's supposed to deal with the situation when he have children by these two women, his two wives. He loved one wife and he hate the other wife. And with the firstborn son gonna come through the wife that he hate, the God of Israel said, still give him his inheritance. Give him a double portion. That's what it said in Deuteronomy 21:15 and 16. Give that son of the hated wife his inheritance and a double portion. Okay? This is civil. Civil. We're talking about civil laws today. This is the way you treat one another. This is the way. You got to do it in a proper, well-mannered, respectful way. Let's go to the next law. Law number 123 of the 613 laws. Not to have relationship with women who are not acquired an Israelite man or woman cannot be a prostitute. Deuteronomy 23:18. You cannot have a relationship with a woman or a man that's not a Hebrew. Let me say it loud and clear. You cannot have a relationship with a white man or a white woman or a Chinese man or a Chinese woman. You cannot. They must be Hebrews. This is up under the civil part of the law. Civil. The God is trying to show us how we got to act, how we got to respond to one another. Civil. No, you can't marry nobody that's not a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman. A Hebrew woman or a man cannot be a prostitute or a whoremonger. Or a Hebrew woman, daughter of Zion, cannot be a whore. Cannot be a whore. Let's read the law for that. Law number 123, Deuteronomy 23:18. Let's read that. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of a higher thy God, for any vow, for even both these are abominations unto a higher thy God. Abominations. We're going to do a precept. You cannot get your mind off that white man or that Asian brother, that African woman, that Asian woman. Oh, she got long, pretty hair. That Spanish woman. You got a lot of Hebrew men now flying over there to Taiwan and going to China and going to the Dominican and all kind of places looking for women. Women. They ain't nothing but male prostitutes. Whoremongers. That's what they are. Because the Bible, the Torah, I'm not talking about this King James Version Bible that I'm reading. I'm talking about the Torah, the Mitzvah of the God of Israel, the Hebrew Scrolls. The Hebrew Scrolls tell a man that they cannot marry outside of their nation. the Hebrew nation. So why are you flying to Taiwan looking for Spanish? Why are you flying to the Dominican looking for Spanish women? Because they got long hair and oh, they light skinned and oh yeah, but they white. They white and they not Hebrew women. The only man, the only woman you're supposed to marry, bruh, is a Hebrew woman, point blank. So you see how these men, they twisted up. They messed up. They messed up. They looking for everything but a Hebrew woman. Oh my God. They looking for every kind of woman but a Hebrew woman. And why? Because the daughters of Zion are whores. That's another reason why our men are flying to Taiwan and the Dominican Republic and going over there to Honduras and all them places, Asia and all them, looking for women because the daughters of Zion are whores. All of them are whores. You could be a whore up in the church. You got a lot of whores up in churches, in ministries, in Hebrew Israelite camps. It's a lot of hoes up in there. Okay? You got whores and whoremongers among each other. So let's get a precept. How am I a whore? I go to church every day. I can hear the daughters of Zion talking. How am I a whore? I go to church. I'm faithful to my elder. I'm faithful to my pastor. I pay my tithes. I do what my elders tell me to do and my bishop. Now, how am I a whore? You are a hoe because you're going against what the God of Israel say in his law. You look like a hoe with them big old fat eyelashes on. Them hoe eyes. Don't you know what the book of Proverbs say about a woman dazzling a man with their eyes, their eyelids? Those are hoe eyes. Them big old fat eyebrows you put on. Eyebrows, eyelashes, all that is hoe stuff. Weaves down to your back and your butt. Oh, that's hoe. The daughters of Zion don't look like that. So you want to look like a white woman, daughters of Zion? So our Hebrew men is flying to the Dominican looking for Spanish women to marry with real long hair. See how you have destroyed the Hebrew men and their thinking. You have programmed the Hebrew men to think that, oh, they got to have long hair, a woman with long hair now. They have to have a woman with long hair and, all of that. Because you don't program our men, you don't put weaves on top of your hair. They don't even see your hair no more. Hebrew men don't see your hair. You're ashamed of your hair. You are ashamed of your own Hebrew hair. My God, Ahia, help me up in here. How you are not a hoe when you can't even show your own hair. Woo! Woo! Now the brothers running over to Taiwan looking for women with real long hair. They don't want the fake hair no more. They ain't never wanted. They just dealt with it. They never wanted it anyway. They just dealt with you and that. So this is what law number 123 is saying. And I'm going to get a precept. You cannot marry outside a Hebrew Israelite, and a Hebrew man and a Hebrew woman cannot be a prostitute. A prostitute. No, you don't have to get money to be a prostitute. You don't have to get no money to be you can be a hoe from just going to horn against the God of Israel. He called you a hoe because you got many lovers. You're a hoe. See, you got many lovers. Your weaves and all that stuff you like and them big eyelashes and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. You're a great hoe. So let's go to Deuteronomy 23:18 and get a precept, and we're going to the next law. Yes. Now you crying and all that on YouTube. Oh, yeah. The black, they don't want me. My men don't want me. I'm 50 years old. I'm 30 years old. I just see myself being alone. Don't nobody want me. And I don't know what to do. And oh, my life is just so sad. And oh, yeah, you destroyed. You destroyed the Hebrew man, and the Hebrew man destroyed his own self. You destroying your own self. You programmed them men with all the weaves you've been wearing for so very long. So every woman in this earth, man, I can't say every, but woo, every woman you see in America got weaves in their hair. Everyone, they got a weave or wig on, one of the two. And you wonder why your men running to Thailand looking for Gentile women to marry? This is what they want. They want women with long hair now. You have programmed them to that. When you should have been showing your Hebrew natural hair to your Hebrew brothers. Let's get a precept. Oh, I just can't take this weave out, girl. My hair is bald and I just can't take these eyelashes out. Oh, I just love my lashes. I don't see nothing wrong with my lashes. I don't see nothing wrong with my eyebrow. Oh, I just love it. I cannot get rid of my weave. My hair bald. Yeah, well, you made your own head bald. But the God of Israel don't accept you, daughters of Zion, looking like whores with that fake dead hair in your head. You look like a dead woman. You're not alive. You got dead things on your body. Eyelashes, that's dead. Eyebrows, dead. Weave, dead. Let's get a precept. Deuteronomy 24. Deuteronomy 23:1, law number 123, going into the next law. Deuteronomy 23:18. See, I know what it is, daughters of Zion. I know what's happening, okay? I'm reading the civil part of the law. You got to be civil. You have to be civil. You have to be right with yourself, with each other. You got to be right with the God of Israel. Civil, civilized. Y'all don't look civilized, Hebrews. Y'all don't look civilized. Look at our men. Look at our women. You just don't look civilized. So trolls. Let's go. 23:18. Yes, 23:18. Thou should not bring a hire of a whore. Okay, we read it. Let's get a free cell. We're going to get a precept to this. Ezekiel 16:33. Hey, sis. Oh, my God. Oh, man, sis, you here today. Blessings, blessings, prophet. Oh, sis, I'm so glad to see you. Valerie Cook, N7B. That's your handle name, Valerie Cook. Oh, I'm so glad to see you, sis. I was just thinking about, oh, my sister, where is she? You pop up right here. So we're sis, where we are right now, sis, we're teaching the civil part of the law. We don't pass the moral part of the law. We don't pass the ceremonial part of the law. Now we on the civil part of the law. And we are on law number 123, where it say a man and a woman cannot marry outside of the Hebrew nation. And the only people that you can marry, they must be Hebrews. Because you're a Hebrew, they gotta be a that's law number 123, Deuteronomy 23:18. If you want to look that up in your Bible. Deuteronomy 23:18 for law number 123, civil. You're on the civil part of the law. And I was telling them what civil means. Civil means that you have to be polite and you have to be courteous and you have to treat one another right. You have to treat the God of Israel higher, the right way. This is the civil part of the law. So he's telling the children of Israel that they cannot marry Africans. They cannot marry white men and white women. They cannot marry Chinese. They can only marry Hebrew men and Hebrew women. So whenever you do get married, since you decide that you want to get married, please, please do the civil thing, the right thing, and marry you a Hebrew man. Please do what's right. Do the civil part. Marry a Hebrew man. That's the only man that you can marry. You cannot marry no other man. If you do, you are sinning. You are committing an abomination. That's what the King James Version Bible say. We commit an abomination when we marry outside of our nationality. So Ezekiel 16:23 is a precept that I'm about to read right now for law number 123, which the scripture was Deuteronomy 23:18. Precept Ezekiel 16:33. They give gifts to all whores. Ezekiel 16:33. They give gifts to all whores, but but thy givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hires them that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. See, the children of Israel, our ancestors, and even today, you are whores. I told you that the God of Israel called you whores. You give your gifts to all, they give gifts to all whores. I know about hoe. I know exactly what a hoe is. And like I just said, you don't have to be a hoe that get money. It's all kind of ways that you fall in that category of being a hoe to the God of Israel. You don't have to be a prostitute that literally stand on a corner and get money. It's other ways that the God of Israel say that you are a whore. They give gifts to all whores, it says, Ezekiel 16:33. But thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hirest them that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. You give your gifts, Hebrews, Israel, to all your lovers. You don't want to get a God of Israel nothing. You go all week, all day, all month, all year. You don't want to give the God of Israel anything. But you give all your gifts to your lovers. To your love. Who do I love? Who do I love? You love everything and everybody but the God of Israel. You give all your gifts, your time, your money, to your lovers, your Gentiles. You give the Gentiles all your time, all your money, everything. No, that's your lovers, the Gentiles. You love them. You go whoring after their gods. So we're going to go to the next law. And that's how you commit an order. That's how you commit an order. You hire your lovers. Yes. Let's go to the next law. You can't be no prostitute. And you can't be no hoe. And you cannot marry outside your nation, your nationality, a Hebrew man and a Hebrew woman. Next law. Law number 124. Not to withhold food, clothing, and relations from your wife. It's another civil law that's in the Torah, the Hebrew scrolls. Not to withhold food and clothing and relations from your wife. Don't mistreat your wife. Don't mistreat your wife. Don't do your wife wrong. Relations. Don't withhold food from her. Clothing. Don't spend time with your wife. Spend time. You know how many men in this world don't have time for their wives? Woo! You know how many women are crying today talking about their husband. They got time for them. Their husband don't talk to them. Their husband won't be with them. Their husband won't hug them. Their husbands won't spend no time. You know how many Hebrew women are crying in divorce court right now because their Hebrew husband didn't have time for them and didn't want to provide for them the way that they supposed to provide for them up under the law. Up under the law, it is your duty, bruh, to take care of your wife. It's your duty, bruh, to take care of your wife, provide for your wife and your children, and give your wife what she needs, whatever it is. Whatever it is, if your wife wants you to hold her 10 hours in one day, that you supposed to get that to her. Whatever your wife wants. Your wife want to sit with you and look at you for a whole hour. You supposed to give your wife whatever she wants. This is up under the law. And see, this is why these Hebrew men, they messed up. Our brothers, our Hebrew men, they all messed up and destroyed. They destroyed because they don't want to do what the God of Israel wants them to do concerning their wife and how to treat their wives. It's all about what they want. I got to have what I want. I ain't got time today. We'll do it tomorrow. All that. So let's get a precept right here. We're talking about the civil part of the law, how to treat one another as citizens. Citizens, Hebrew citizens, right, polite, courteous, kind, nice, sweet, gentle, loving, civil, being right with each other. That's what's wrong. That's why so many divorces and so many miserable relationships, because don't nobody want to do what's right. They don't even know what's right. They don't even know what's right, and they ain't trying to find out what is right. When it comes to the God of Israel, the creator, the one that put you in this earth, the one that put breath in your body to breathe, you don't want to know what's right to do by him and by one another, Israel. This is the problem. Them Gentiles have destroyed your mind. They have destroyed the way you think. They have destroyed everything about you. Them Gentiles. You don't understand what's right when it comes to one another. It says right here for law number 124. Don't hold out food or clothing in relations with your wife. You know what relations is? Sex. Sex. Relations. Intimacy. Intimacy. Expression. touch, feeling, spending time together. The God of Israel say, don't do that to your wife. Don't hold that relation, those emotions, those feelings, those desires, the things that your wife needs to be a wife, the things that your wife needs to be a woman, to feel like she's important in your life. These are the things you must provide as a man. Holding out, relation, I just can't express. I just can't tell you I love you. See, Hebrews, I'm going to make it plain with you today, and we're moving on to the next law. I just can't tell you how much. I can't tell you I love you. I can't tell you I want you. I can't tell you how beautiful you are. I can't say, you good to me. I just can't express. I just can't say anything to you. Why? Because you don't want to say anything to your wife or your girlfriend. You don't want to say anything. And it's against the law, and you sinning. You sinning against the God of Israel. Ahia is his name. The God of the Hebrew kingdom and nation. Don't hold relations. Man, I ain't had sex with my husband in 6 months. Hope your husband holding out on you. Holding out on you, going against what the God of Israel law say. I can't get my husband to watch a movie with me. I can't get my husband to spend no time with me. I can't get my boyfriend. No, I can't get him to, I can't get this man to do nothing with me. He's sinning and he's selfish and he all about himself. And that's the truth. And that's really what it is. Okay? Let's move to the next law. Law number 124 of the 613 laws of the God of Israel. We're on law number 125 now. That was law 124 we just went through. 125, next law. This is serious, Hebrews. This is very serious, people. I'm telling you what is going on in this earth, how everybody is breaking the law of the God of Israel because they don't want to understand the law. Law number 125, to have children for her. Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, for law number 25, to have children for her. Let's read that. Let's go to Genesis 128 for law number 125. It's terrible, man. It's terrible how these men treat their wives today. It's terrible how these men treat their girlfriend. And it's terrible how some of the women treat their husbands and their boyfriends. It's both sides of the fence. It's terrible because, see, you have to learn how to act. You have to know how to act. You have to know how to be well-mannered, courteous, polite, understanding that. Understanding that is very, very important. That's why we read in the civil part of the law. Understanding how to be right with yourself and with one another and with your God. That's the three things I want you to remember today. How to be right with yourself first, with your God second, and with one another third. Please write that down because that's very, very important to the God of Israel. Genesis 1:28 for law number 125. Genesis 1:28. For law number 120. My sis hanging in there with me today. Sister Valerie. Genesis 128. So glad she's here today. And the other listener, happy to see you too. Happy to see you, whoever you are. Genesis 128. It said, and God blessed them, see. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that move upon the earth. So this is what the God of Israel, the God of the Hebrew nation, the 12 tribes, this is what he told Adam and Eve, our Hebrew mother and father. Yes, Adam and Eve was Hebrews. Our Hebrew mother, and no, Adam and Eve didn't bring all of mankind in the world. They only brought forth Hebrew. One DNA. They had one DNA. That DNA that they carried was a Hebrew DNA. The 12 tribes of Israel come forth from Adam and Eve. Not no white people, not no Chinese people, not no Africans, not none of that. Hebrews, we the first people of the earth. We are the creators. We are the creators and gods of the earth. Our God, Ahia, he gave us power to rule as gods in this earth. But you're so weak and you don't understand yourself. You don't understand your God. You don't understand what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what makes you so weak. So he telling Adam and Eve right here, they got to multiply. And they got to replenish the earth with Hebrew men and Hebrew women. And they got to have dominion over the fishes of the sea. They got to have dominion over the animals. That's how powerful our mother and our father was. They was very, very powerful. The God of Israel gave them that dominion. He gave them that power to rule. You're supposed to be ruling today, Hebrews. Not waiting on Donald Trump to give you some food stamps. Not waiting on the government to help you, to give you a little handout, a little bit of food, a little. No, we don't need the government. We only need ourselves, and we only need the God of Israel, the gods of the Hebrew kingdom, the mother and the father and the son. That's all we need. Not, oh yeah, Trump, yes, man. Yes, because the God of Israel want to wake you up now. He wants you to snap out of your zone and understand that he never ever told you to depend on no man to take care of you, Hebrews. We are powerful. We are rulers. Don't you see Adam and Eve was great until they committed adultery in the garden with the tree? They was great. They was gods. The animals listened to them. They ruled the earth. And the God of Israel want to take us back to that path. Back to that path where we can rule again. We can be one. We can be the Hebrew kingdom and the nation again. That's what it's all about. The 12 tribes of Israel. It's not about nothing else up in this earth. Nothing else is important to the God of Israel. Believe me, only his people. Now, we got a precept to that. So you must understand, to have children for her. Adam and Eve, our mother and father. The God of Israel told them to multiply Instead of them multiplying and doing what the God of Israel wanted them to do in the garden, their mind was on the tree. Their mind was on committing adultery. Their mind was on going against what the God of Israel told them to do. Just like your mind today is just like our father and our mother, Adam and Eve. Their mind was on doing what was wrong and not what's right. See, your mind got to be on what's right to do, not on what's wrong. God just gonna live my life, and God understand. God understand. He know what I'm going through. Yeah, he know my heart. He know, yeah. Do he really understand? Or is that something that you just programming yourself to believe? No, the God of Israel don't understand you going against his law. Ooh, let me say it again. The God of Israel don't understand you going against him and what he tell you to do. The God of Israel don't understand you not doing what he put you in this earth to do. Rule the earth. We are rulers. Let's go to the next law. No, he don't understand that. And that's why he dropping a lot of people. A lot of people sick, dying, weak, all kind of stuff wrong with them. They ain't got their life right. They ain't got this right. Nothing is right. Nothing is right in our life. You know why? Because the God of Israel don't understand that. He already told us what to do to make our life right. So he don't understand you not doing what he say. He your God. He the one put us here. Why we can't obey him and do what he say? Because we worried about what somebody think, what somebody feel, what some man say, what some woman say, what somebody don't taught me, what somebody don't say it. No. No, people. Let's go to the next law. Silver part of the law. It's deep, man. God is powerful. This is very powerful, the law. The law can change your world. The law has changed my whole entire world, people, my whole entire DNA, my whole and everything. The law did it. The law woke me up, snapped me out of my zone, out of my sleep, out of my demonic way of thinking. The law snapped me out of it. Boom, 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 boom. Wake up. So let's go to law number. So yes, you got to have them children multiply. Now they messing with our DNA, and they got stuff in the water, the food. I've been dreaming a lot lately. I've been having a lot of bizarre like dreams, and very symbolic dreams. And you know, um, I dreamed the other night about a lot of black people was just like in this big old, big old, big old, big old like hall or somewhere. And everybody's mind was just on food. Listen to what I'm saying, people. I dreamed this 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago. Everybody's mind in the vision was on food. All the black, you had so many black people there looking for food to eat. That's all their mind was on, eating, eating, eating. And in the dream, I was trying to get them to sit with me so I could talk to them about the God of Israel, or I could tell them about, what the God of Israel want them to know and understand about. They wasn't thinking about me. Their mind was on eating. See, and this is your problem. That food, all that food that y'all black folks come together holding all these events and parties, you always got to have food in front of you for everything. And this is what is destroying you. Food. Ooh, think about it, people. It's the food that's keeping you. That's keeping you. That's keeping you isolated from what the God of Israel needed. It's all about let's get together, girl, and have a party. We're gonna have some ribs, and we're gonna have some chicken, and we're gonna have this and that. Food, food is taking you down, Hebrews. This is the greatest weapon of the Gentiles. Listen to me, and we're going to the next law. This is the greatest weapon that the Gentiles are using against us. It's in the food. It's something in the food. There's many things in the food that is destroying you. That's, you got your mind, they got all kind of stuff in the food, and the food is controlling everybody. That's what it is. It's the food. If you can turn that plate away and stop eating for maybe 3 weeks, stop eating. Turn it away, turn it down. It's the food. It's all about eating and come together to eat. Not come together to be with each other, to love each other, to respect each other, to honor each other, to do what the civil law wants us to do. Not come together for that, but just to eat the nasty Gentile food that is destroying our bodies. We can't have no babies like the God of Israel told Adam and Eve to multiply, because the food that they are feeding, that they are giving, is destroying the black woman and the black man. Believe what I'm telling you. It is the food. The God of Israel showed me that 2 nights ago. Let's go to the next law. And that's why I know I have to be around some good food. If I'm going to survive and make it out of all of this programming and all the, programming of the mind, and, all the food they making you sick with. If I'm going to get out of all that, I have to be around good food, or I won't survive. And that's how they're taking down a lot of Hebrews today, is through the food. It always been through food. Witchcraft, right? Think about witchcraft. And we go into the next law, people. It always been about food. That's how the witches get you to do what they want and take you down. It's the food got witchcraft in it. I'm telling you, Hebrews, the people in the vision was so mad. Their mind was just so, oh my God. They couldn't think about nothing but that plate of food. Eating that. Witchcraft, sorcery is taking the Hebrew kingdom down through food. Next law. Law number 126. A divorced wife must receive a written bill of divorce. A divorced wife, okay? Y'all know in the book of Romans, over there in the New Testament, they said, Paul said that you can't marry no more. You bound by the law of marriage as long as you live. Over there in the New Testament. I'm gonna get that right now for you. We're gonna read that. But law number 126 said a divorced wife must receive a written bill of divorce. Deuteronomy 24:1. Read that. Deuteronomy 24:1. A divorced wife must receive a written bill of divorce. So let me get the scripture, the New Testament, and that's law number 126. Let me get the one where they say, Paul said that you can never divorce your wife. You must always, you bound by the law of marriage as long as you live. Let's read that. Let's show you this wicked injection that they put in the King James Version Bible to destroy the Hebrews up in this earth. Let's show you the wickedness. The Christian church, the 66 books, that's all I need. I believe in everything in the Bible. Well, you're a fool. You're a fool if you believe everything in the Bible. Because the God of Israel didn't write the Bible. The God of Israel wrote the Hebrew Scrolls. Bound by marriage. Hold on, people. Let me get this. Hold on, sisters. Hanging in there today. You gotta do it, sis. You got to do it now. You got about 7 more laws and I'm gonna be finished. 7 more laws. It's deep, sis. It's a deep life. Everything is deep. White people too, they love food. Everybody want to eat. That's First Corinthians. Let's go to First Corinthians, sis, and First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. Where they put that a woman is bound by the law of marriage as long as she lives. She cannot marry another man. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. You said the God of Israel said that? Whoa. First Corinthians 7:39. Let's go to that New Testament. And then we're gonna read that law and get a precept and move into the next law. First Corinthians. First Corinthians 7:39. Look what it says. 7:39, First Corinthians. They said Paul said this now. Paul, a Hebrew man. Paul was a Hebrew man from the tribe of Benjamin. Oh, sorry. Paul said 7:39. It says, the wife is bound by the law as long as her husband lives. But if her husband be dead, she is liberally to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord is say. Only so it's saying that a wife is bound by the law of marriage as long as her husband lives. And I just read to you right there for law number 120, 126, Deuteronomy 24:1. A divorced wife must see a written bill of divorce. Let's read that. Deuteronomy 24. Let's read that, sis. Deuteronomy 24:1. And we're going to the next law. I'm showing you how the King James Version Bible was hijacked. Deuteronomy 24:1 it say, for law number 126, and we're going to the next law. When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he have found some uncleanness in her, Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand, and she and send her out of his house. Verse 2 of Deuteronomy 24. Verse 2. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. They ain't saying nothing about if the man die, but the book of Corinthians is no, it ain't saying none of that. The book of Corinthians say that she's bound by the law of marriage and she cannot marry nobody else unless her husband die. But right here under the Torah, up under the law, the Hebrew scrolls, you better believe the scrolls. You better believe what the God of Israel say. Not over there in that New Testament that they created. The New Testament was created 70 years after they killed the Son of God and all the disciples. They created the New Testament. Okay? It was not even nowhere around when the Son of God and John the Baptist now was walking the earth. So yes, you can give that woman a bill of divorcement up under the law, the Torah, and she can go. See, a lot of Christian women need to hear this today. Because I know I was bound. I was bound as a married woman by that Romans 7:39. Because I was a Christian church pastor and a member of I was bound by that Bible verse. And I stayed in a marriage for all of those miserable years with a man, because I'm believing what 1 Corinthians 7:39 is saying, that a man cannot, or a woman cannot divorce her husband as long as he is living. She cannot go and be another man's wife. That's wrong, people. Yes, you can become another man's wife. If that man is not treating you right and that man is not doing right, you can become another man's wife. Excuse me. Now, let's go to the next law. You know how many women crying right now? We're going to law number 127. And we got about, let me see, how many more we have? We got about 4 or 5 more. We finished. You know how many women crying right now? Because the Christian church pastors don't told them that they can never divorce that man as long as he's living. And they can't marry nobody else. That's what 1 Corinthians tells us in the book of Romans. It's an injection. That's all it is. God of Israel don't want you to be with nobody that's not treating you right. Listen to me. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Ahio, God of Israel, he don't want you being with nobody that's mistreating you. It don't matter. It doesn't matter who it is, because that's the civil law. You have to treat one another the right way. So if you don't want that woman, give her that bill of divorcement and let her go and become another man's wife. Let her go. Don't hold her up. Law number 127. A man cannot remarry his divorced wife. A man cannot remarry his divorced wife. If you have divorced a man and a man have divorced you, you cannot go and remarry that man again. You cannot. It's against the law. Deuteronomy 24:4. Let's read that. Deuteronomy 24:4. We're going to get a precept for that. 24:4. Let's pick it up at verse 3. of Deuteronomy 24. Verse 3 of Deuteronomy 24. And if the later husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house, or if the later husband die, which took her to be his wife, see, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife, after that she is defiled, for that is an abomination before Ahiah, and thou should not cause the land to sin, which Ahiah thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Right here is perfectly clear, Israel. If the husband hate her, send her out of your house with a bill of divorcement in her hand. No, I don't have to go to court. I don't have to go to court. I'm a Hebrew woman. I follow Hebrew laws. I don't follow the laws of this world. I follow the Hebrew laws. So I don't have to go to court and tell the government to give me a divorce. No, put that in my hand, write it, and say, no, I don't want to be your husband no more. I want a divorce. He put him in my hand, and I'm free to go and become another man's wife. And it's that simple. And it says right here, sit out of his house, and her former husband. And if her husband died, if my husband died, which took her to be his wife, her former husband which sent her away may not take her again to be his wife. So if he sent me away, he said he don't want me, and he gave me that bill of divorce in my hand, I cannot marry him again, or he cannot marry me again. Her former husband, verse 4, Deuteronomy 24, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. If the later husband die, which took her to be his wife, see? If the husband died, say this woman was married 2 times. The first husband died. The first husband gave her a bill of divorcement, and the second husband died. Right here it said in Deuteronomy 24 that the husband that's alive that married her but gave her the bill of divorcement in her hand cannot remarry her. Cannot remarry her. So even if your husband died, you still have a right to become another man's wife. Even if he don't die, you still have the right to become another man's wife up under the law. So let's go. Let's get a precept for this. Deuteronomy 24, verse 4. Going to the next law. Deuteronomy 24, verse 4. This is the civil part of the law. Deuteronomy 24, verse 4. Precept. Precept. Exodus 21:10. Let's read Exodus 21:10. Exodus 21:10 for a precept. The law number 127. We're going to law number 128, and we have, let me see, Exodus 21:10. Let's read that first. Exodus 21:10. For law number 127, a precept. This is a precept. It says, if he take him another wife, see that? If he take him another wife, after her food, her raiment, and her due, let's start at verse 9. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her as the man of a daughter. No. Verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not be diminished. So if a Hebrew man got two wives, that's exactly what it's talking about. About the Hebrew law, you are able to have one wife, two wives. Jacob had four wives. Our father Jacob of the Hebrew nation, he had four wives. So if a Hebrew man decides to marry two women, even though he get a new wife, he cannot forget about the first wife. He still got to get a first wife for the food, the clothing. He still got to do his husband duties to the first wife. Just because he get a new wife, his husband duties do not diminish from taking care of his first wife. You know he get another wife. He still got to take care of both of them wives. And he still got to treat both of them wives the right way. You got to treat them wives equal and right. You have to. This is up under the law. Abraham had two wives. He had Sarah and Hagar, the Egyptian woman, Hagar. He had to treat Hagar according to the way that the law tell him to treat Hagar. Sarah is the one got rid of her. Sarah said, "Oh, put this woman out of my house." Sarah is the one got jealous of Hagar, and she told Abraham to put her out of the house. And Abraham did what his wife Sarah told him to do. I mean, Abraham didn't even want no second wife. That was Sarah's ideal for him to even have a second wife. Well, he said, yeah, okay, but it's not against the law for you to have one wife, two wives, three wives. We Hebrews, we don't follow Gentile madness. We don't follow Gentile ways. We follow what the God of Israel tell us to do. And the God of Israel say, yes, you can have a wife, one wife, two wife, three, long as you civilizedly treat your wife with love, respect, honor, dignity. Treat her with civil manners. So that's the problem. You got these Hebrew Israelites, these camps. They call themselves having 4 and 5, 6 wives. They don't know how to treat no woman. They don't even know how to treat themselves. The women are miserable in them marriages. Miserable. They dog them out, treat them like dogs, all kind of stuff. Let's go to the next law. So it said right here for the precept, Exodus 21:10. If he take him another wife, her food, her remnant, her duty of marriage shall not be diminished. Doesn't matter how many wives you got to treat them equally and accordingly to the law of the God of Israel. Next law. Law number 128. So we just did the civil laws, now all about marriage and how you're supposed to treat your wife and how many wives you can have and what you're supposed to do in your marriages. We just dealt with all of that under the civil law. How you're supposed to multiply, have children. We just dealt with all of that. We dealt with all of that. Now we on law number 128. How you can divorce your wife and your wife can become another man's husband. I'm sorry. How you can divorce your husband and you can become another man's wife. That's what I'm trying to say. Now let's go to law number 128. Did I know that when I was a Christian church pastor? Absolutely not. And that's why I stayed in a miserable marriage all them years. Because I didn't know that. Especially when I became a pastor of the Christian church. I really wanted to follow the way of Christianity. Law number 128. To marry a childless brother's widow. This is up under the law, people. Hebrews law number 128. We've got about 3 more and I'm finished. To marry a childless brother's widow. Deuteronomy 25, verse 5. Let's read that. Law number 28. To marry. So when your brother, say you married, you are married, and and the wife, your brother, okay, it's your brother's widow. So it's 2 brothers right here. It's 2 brothers right here. Let's read it. Deuteronomy 25:5. Deuteronomy 25:5. Y'all don't know the law. You don't know. You think it's sin because you've been taught by the Christian churches and all this stuff. Oh, that's not right, not to do that. God of Israel ain't say that. The Christian doctrine said that, not the God of Israel. The Christian doctrine told you that, not the God of Israel. Deuteronomy 25:5. 25:5. Deuteronomy 25:5 is saying, if brethren dwell together, if 2 Hebrew men dwell together, okay, 2 Hebrew men now dwell together, and one of them die. This is what the law teaches us, okay? One of the Hebrew men die and have no child or no children. The wife of the dead man, okay, shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go into her and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her. So if 2 Hebrew men live together, Hebrew brothers, and he married and he died, one of the man that's married to the Hebrew woman, he died, and the brother is right there in the house with them. The brother must become the Hebrew woman, the Hebrew sister husband. He must marry his brother's wife up under the law. He must marry his brother's wife. I know that sounds strange to you if you are a Christian. That sounds strange to you because you don't understand Hebrew scroll, Hebrew law, the mitzvah. You don't understand how the God of Israel operate. That sounds strange. That's sin. See, the Christian church gonna teach you that is a sin. Oh, I'm gonna marry my sister-in-law because my brother died and they didn't have no children. So the God of Israel want me to marry my dead brother wife and go in unto her. That's what it say right here in Deuteronomy. Go in unto her, and they should make babies together. No, it's not a sin. It's righteousness. It's righteousness. It's up under the law. It's Torah. It's all about multiplying and filling up the earth. That's what it's about. So if this Hebrew man was married to a Hebrew woman and he died and he didn't have no children, his brother must become that Hebrew woman husband. And he must go in into her, have sex with her, and make a baby. Listen to the Bible verse. Deuteronomy 25:5 for law number 128. And we moving right along. I got to get out of here in a minute. If a brethren dwell together with one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry unto a stranger. She can't marry nobody. She can't marry nobody but that brother, the brother-in-law. She got to marry the brother-in-law up out of the Hebrew. You got to marry him. You can't marry no stranger. You can't marry nobody. You got to marry that right there where you at. Her husband brother shall go into her, mean have sex. Her husband brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife and perform the duty of a husband brother unto her. Verse 6, and it shall be that the firstborn which she bear shall succeed in the name of his brother, which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. So just because this man, they have no children, the God of Israel want the brother to marry the dead brother's wife and have babies. Have babies. This is up under the law. Let me see if I can get a precept here. Deuteronomy 25:5 and moving right along to the next one. Next law. Deuteronomy 25:5. Let me see how many laws we have. I think like two. 25:5 of Deuteronomy. Let's see if we can get a precept. Yeah, let's go to Luke 20, verse 28, to the New Testament. Luke 20, verse 28. That's a precept, the law number 128, to marry a childless brother's widow. Deuteronomy 25, verse 5 is the Bible verse. Precept, excuse me, Luke 20, verse 28. It reads, said, Master, Moses wrote unto us. This is what Moses is the one that wrote that. Moses the one that received the Torah, the Hebrew scrolls, and Mount Sinai when they left Egypt. And Moses wrote unto us, if any man's brother die, see, it's even in the New Testament, having a wife, and he die without children, that his brother shall take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. So there you go, right there in the New Testament in Luke chapter 20, verse 28. Yes, if he die, the brother must take the wife of the dead Hebrew man and raise children between him and the woman. So let's go to the next law. You don't understand, people. Charlie is deep. The law is very beautiful. The next law is law number 129. Let me see how many more I have here. Let's see. One. We got like four more. Let me get through them. I don't think I'm gonna do the precepts. I'll probably just read through them. Just gonna read through the laws and read the Bible verse, and I might get one or two precepts, but I want to finish this. Okay. The next law is 129. To free a childless widow from the obligations to marry her brother-in-law. To free a childless widow from the obligation to marry her brother-in-law. Deuteronomy 25:9. Let's read that. Then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoes from off his foot, and spit in his face, spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that have his shoes loosed. Okay, so up under the law, when the children of Israel, our ancestors, was in Jerusalem, our land, when they was in Jerusalem, before they got scattered all over the world. And right now, Israel is scattered all over the earth, everywhere. And they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are, and they don't know who their God is. And that's a problem, a big, serious problem. It is just because they don't want to know. That's what it is. They just don't care, and they just don't want to know, and they just want to believe what they want to believe, even though what they believe is not working. It's not working in their life, but they still want to believe it, and they still want to hold on to it. So right here, up under the law, when the children of Israel, for what law number 129, when they was in Jerusalem, when we was the Hebrew nation, right now we are divided by religions. We divided by religions and doctrines and traditions. That's what have divided us as a people. She, the widow, it say right here, then shall the brother's wife, see? The brother's wife. So this is a scenario about the two Hebrew men that was living in the same house, and one of the Hebrew men died, and the wife is still living without children from her husband. The brother don't want to do what the God of Israel want him to do. He don't want to have sex with his dead brother wife. He don't want to do it. He don't want to go into her and make a baby. He don't want to do it. So he breaking the law. So the woman went to the elders right here in Deuteronomy 25:9. She went to the elders, the Hebrew Israelite, the Hebrew elders when the children of Israel was in Jerusalem. And she went to the elders. The wife come unto him in the presence of the elders. So the husband was there, the brother was there, and the wife was there. And they went to the elders and loosed his shoes from off his foot. And she spit in his face. She spit in his face. And she'll answer and say, so shall it be done unto the man that should not build up his brother's house. It's his duty if his brother died and the wife don't have any children by the brother. It's his duty up under the law of the Torah to marry this woman, have sex with her, and build his brother's name. Because children is what build your name. When you have children, that's what it's all about, multiplying the Hebrew kingdom. So the wife she spit in his face because she didn't want to do it. She spit in his face. He's nothing. He trash because he don't want to follow the law. So let's go to the next law. We don't need no precept for that. We already understand that. He decided that he don't want to do what the God of Israel want him to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. There's so many men like that today and women. And that's why your life is the way it is. That's why. Law number 130. And we're going to take it all the way down to 133, and we're going to be finished. Three more. Law number 130. The widow must not remarry until the ties with her brother-in-law are removed. Deuteronomy 25:5. We just read that. The law number 128 is Deuteronomy 25:5. Law number 130 is Deuteronomy 25:5. We just read that. The widow must not remarry until the ties with her brother-in-laws are removed. Just what happened when she spit in her brother-in-law's face because he did not want to marry her. She took him and her and the brother-in-law went to the elders, and she spit in his face in the presence of the elders. Now she's able to go and become another man's wife because all the ties, the shoes of his feet was loosened off of his foot in front of the elders of Israel. She unbuckled the shoes off of his feet, saying that you don't have to do it. And she spit in his face after that. So now she could go and become another man's wife. That tie must be broken. It must be broken through a civil way, through the Hebrew way. Not taking them to no Gentile judge and all that court and all. No, we had our own court. We had our own judges. We had our own court. We had our own everything. We was a nation, a nationality. We the Hebrew nation and kingdom. We had our own order, our own way. So this is the way of the Hebrews. So next law. So she able to go, yeah, that brother didn't want to have sex with her. He didn't want to become her husband. He was considered as a heathen in Jerusalem. He's a heathen man because he don't want to go, he don't want to do what the God of Israel want him to do. Next law. Law number 131. And all these are civil. This is the way you got to be in a marriage. This is the way you got to be in a relate. Yes, it's civil. 130. The widow must not. 131. We're on law number 131 now. Two more and I'm finished for today. The court must find one who seduced a maiden. Exodus 22:15 and 16. Law number 131. The Hebrew court, must find one who seduced or raped a woman. See, they had rapes way back then, people. The same stuff going on today went on way back then. Exodus 22, verse 15 and 16. Let's read that law. We have two more and I'm leaving. Exodus 22, 15 and 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, Exodus 22, 16, law number 131. If a man entice a woman or a maid that is not betrothed, that's not married, and lie with her, have sex with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. So if a man up under the Hebrew law rape a woman, a Hebrew woman, if he rape a Hebrew woman, he must take that woman to be his wife. He must. He must take that woman to be, because see, sex is nothing but marriage up out of the Hebrew law. And it proves it right here. Anytime you have sex with someone, that's like a union. It's like a union. It's like a consummation. It's a consummation. Sex is consummation. It's not just sex. It's consummating with each other. It's deep. When you have sex with somebody, it's very deep. In the eyes of the God of Israel, you become husbands and wives. Sex is what connect a man and a woman together in union. Yes, that's what do it. You ain't got to go to no government and get no papers and all that stuff. Not under the Hebrew law. So that's what do it. So if a man rape me up under the law, he a Hebrew man, I'm a Hebrew woman, he gotta marry me. Listen what it says. Law number 131, Exodus 22, 16. Let's read verse 17. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the diary of the virgin. So if he raped this Hebrew sister, he got to go to the father and say, look, see the elders the elders and the prophets and everybody that was in control of Jerusalem, he gonna be in trouble if he don't do what the God of Israel want him to do. They might stone him to death. They might kill him. They might kill him because he raped a Hebrew woman. But then he gonna go to the father and ask the father, can she become his wife? And if the father say no, well, no, I don't want to give my daughter to you. Then the father say, well, okay, since you did what you did to my daughter, you got to give me $5,000. You got to give me 5,000 gerahs, shekels in the Hebrew, shekels. Yeah, that's the only way I'm gonna let my daughter marry. See, it's an order. Everything's an order with the God. So let's See if we could get a precept to this one real quick. And then we got two more. We got two more. That's Exodus 22:15. Exodus 22:15. Yes. Exodus 22:15 verse. Right? Right. Exodus 22:15 and 16. Yeah. One moment, people. One moment. You know what's going on with that. But moving right along, let's move right along because we already understand through the precepts that we already got about marriage and what a Hebrew man and a Hebrew woman can do and how you got to get married and how you got to treat your husband, how you got to treat your wife. And, we already understand all of that. So let's go to the next law. We got one more after this one. Law number 132. The rapist must marry the maiden. I just read you that. The rapist, Exodus 22:15 and 16, law number 31. This is law number 132, Deuteronomy 22:29. Let's get that. We got one more, people. We finished. I'm leaving. Deuteronomy 22:29. The rapist must marry the woman. How many rapes has done been? How many Hebrew men don't rape Hebrew women? So many. Law number 132, Deuteronomy 22:29. Let's go at verse 28, Deuteronomy 22. If a man find a damsel is just a woman that have never been married, that is a virgin. She never had sex with nobody. She never been married. If a man find a woman that's never been married, because in Jerusalem you can only have sex if you married. And if you have sex and you're not married, you consider as a whore or a whoremonger. Whore or whoremonger. Whoremonger is the man. The whore is the woman. Okay? Sex is marriage. Sex is marriage. Then that's why the woman at the well, the son of God, said, "You have had five husbands, and the husband, the one you with, is not yours. That's another woman's husband." Yeah, yes. So she had five husbands, and she was committing adultery with the other husband, the last one. So she had five husbands, the woman at the well, because she has had sexual relationships with five different men. And that's why the Son of God said, "You have five husbands." Because she had laid up with five different men. And when you lay up and have sex with a man, and you're a Hebrew woman and a Hebrew man, under the God of Israel law, Ahai, you are considered as married. They call it soul ties or whatever they want to call it. But let's read this and one more and I'm gone. Law, the rapist must marry the maiden. Deuteronomy 22:29 for law number 132. 22:29. Let's read, yeah, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin that is not married, betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. Then the man that laid with her shall give unto the damsel. See that, sis? And I know you was big on this, 'cause you was taught in a Christian church that it's sin and all that wickedness, when somebody just you just didn't understand that part about how when you have sex with a man, you become his wife. But anyway, I'm trying to help you to get some understanding on that today. It said 22:29. Then a man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel father, see, 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. And because he have humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. So if he raped this Hebrew woman, he have to give the father of the Hebrew woman 50 shekels. That's what you call Hebrew money, shekels. 50 shekels she had to give to the father because he humbled his daughter. He humbled his daughter to have sex with him. And he don't supposed to do that unless his intent is to marry her. So because he humbled his daughter, convinced the daughter, the virgin woman that never had a husband, that never had, he convinced her to have sex with him. Now the father want him to give him 50 shekels in order for him to marry his wife. I'm sorry, in order for him to marry his daughter, he had to give 50 shekels to the Hebrew father. And he gonna be married to her all the days of his life. This the one passage in the Bible where you can never divorce the woman. Not over there in Corinthians, not over there in Romans. It's right here, sis. You can never divorce that woman because you humbled that woman. You convinced that woman. You went against the law. You did it your way. You didn't go to the father and ask the father if you could lay with his daughter and all. He didn't do none of that. He talked her into it. So he got to pay the father the 50 shekels, and he gonna always. It say right here for the Bible verse. He gonna always be her husband, and she gonna always be his wife all the days of his life. He never gonna be allowed to marry no other woman. See how deep that is? That's very deep. We're not gonna get no precept to that. Let's go to the last law, and I'm leaving people. Law number 133. He must not divorce her. Deuteronomy 22:29. Let me get a precept. You got 132. It's Deuteronomy 22:29. And you got 133. It's Deuteronomy 22:29. He must not divorce her all the days of his life. He only can have that one wife and no other wife. That's the only way. When you rape somebody, humble a woman, go against the Hebrew law for marriage, there's penalties behind that. And his penalty was that he could never have another wife outside of her. So let's get the precept of that. Okay, let's get the precept. And this is the last one, and I'm leaving, people. I am leaving. I am leaving. Deuteronomy. Y'all have any questions? Anything you want to say? Any questions? Anything you want to know concerning what we've been talking about today, the civil part of the law? please post a comment, whatever questions, whatever you want to ask. So let's go to the last and get the precept right here. The 133 law, Deuteronomy 22:29. That's the 22:29 precept, because he humbled her. He humbled her. See, I know, a lot of black women been raped. We've been raped by, a lot of different men and yeah, all of that. Through childhood trauma and, all that kind of stuff we went through. Like, yeah, Deuteronomy 22:19. Let's see if we can get a precept. Let's do Deuteronomy 21:14 for the last law for today, and I'm getting ready to leave. And I thank the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, on higher for this law class number 11. Number 11, we get in there, Hebrews. We are getting there. We are getting there. And last night I had another dream last night. Well, I read this last precept, I'm leaving. I don't know, it's like last night in the vision, it's like people was being separated. People was being separated and put away from each other and put away, like it was like these little bitty houses, or should I say little bitty rooms and stuff. It was like people was being put away in little rooms away from their family and away from each other, and everybody was being separated. Everybody was being separated last night in the vision that I had. Okay, so let me read this last precept for law number 133, and I'm going to say I'll talk to y'all later. Tomorrow, see y'all tomorrow for law class number 12. And it shall be Deuteronomy 21:14, precept to law number 133, he must not divorce her. Deuteronomy 22:29. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go, whether she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. So this man that humbled the Hebrew woman and had sex with her, and he have to be her husband the rest of his life. He cannot make no merchandise of her. He cannot sell her. He cannot do none of that. He got to treat that woman the right way. He have to. So this is the civil part of the law dealing with marriage, dealing with marriage, dealing with divorce, dealing with the way that we treat each other in a relationship, dealing with the Hebrew man and his brother died, and he have to marry the Hebrew woman and go in unto her and make Hebrew children. Dealing with all of that, we've been a woman that's being raped by a Hebrew man. He have to marry that woman because he raped that woman. He humbled her. So it's so much that you don't understand about this life. And the only way you ever going to understand this life is that you read the God of Israel law to understand. To understand. It's deep, people. The God of Israel is deep. So with that, I'm going to talk to y'all later. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hey, sis, I love you. I'm so glad you was here today. I'm going to call you. I'll be here tomorrow.